What's up, everybody? It's Joe Herrera coming to you live with Real Water Cooler from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And I am joined by Ray and Shaylie. And what's the baby's name, Ray?
Graham and Michael. He is 4 months old.
Graham got his shots today. He's pissed.
He's not a happy camper, but he's holding it down for us. He's being good.
All right. Well, Ray, give us an idea. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. I mean, obviously, we've met a little bit with you guys making the transition over to Real. I saw your exit video from KW was awesome and like so heartfelt. So many people resonated with it. So kind of give us like a who are you, where are you from, how'd you end up in real estate, all that fun stuff.
Oh man, we don't have enough time to go into all of it. I've been in real estate for 10 years. Shayle's
7 years.
7 years, which is crazy. We met through real estate. She was at the Keller Williams office.
That's right. KW was part of your love story.
It is, yeah, man. And which makes where we're at now just all the.
You don't have one kid named Gary and one kid named Keller is crazy.
We joked about doing that, and we thought about like he was going to come out with a mustache. Like we were actually convinced.
Yeah.
But she did her first deal on my listing, and our love story has just kind of blossomed. We moved to San Diego. I came here in 2019. She followed in 2020, and we started our company, Coastline Real Estate Group, in 2020. Over the last 5 years, we've just kind of kept our heads down, nose of the grindstone, and we've worked our tails off. We've taken a lot of pride in really continuing to push the envelope and think outside the box and prioritize, making the client experience better in every facet. I'm very proud to say that we were just named on Real Trends Thousands list, number 83 team in California.
Nice.
In San Diego. Yeah. So it's been an incredible
awesome
journey, man. And one thing that I am incredibly passionate about, and I know Shaylie is too, is just like what this industry can do for people, what this industry can do for a kid like me that grew up in a very humble household and allow, just the opportunity to build and to do something special with no limits. It is absolutely incredible. And there's hundreds, if not thousands of stories out there that can testify to the power of real estate. And so we're fortunate to be in this industry, building a life for our daughter and our baby boy, and just incredibly humbled every day by the opportunities that have been put in front of us within real estate.
So you said come to San Diego. Where are you guys from originally?
Oh gosh, I was actually born in LA, and Shaylie gives me shit because I guess you could say I'm from Bakersfield. I grew up in Bakersfield.
Nice.
Most of my family is still in Bakersfield, and if you've been to Bakersfield, you know that that's not something that like a lot of people are like, I'm from Bakersfield.
Yeah.
But it's a huge part of who I am. I'm still very much a country boy. I grew up with a very blue collar work ethic. I was raised to stay humble and just work hard. And I will say that for as much as I can talk a bunch of shit about Bakersfield, it is such a huge part of my background and my upbringing. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. Now, that being said, my kids are growing up in San Diego. I fell in love with the city. This was the first love of my life before I met Shaylie. And I truly believe that this is the greatest place on earth. I am the best version of myself here in San Diego. And I love that my kids get to grow up in just a cool culture with a melting pot and a variety of different experiences that is so unique, man. Like this place is unlike anywhere on the planet. And we're really proud to be able to say we planted our flag here. We own our home here. We got our business here. We will die here if all goes well. But it was quite a journey to get here.
Yeah, I always we've got a lot of agents in our world down in Florida, but I always say Florida's for people that don't know about San Diego. Like San Diego's so amazing. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So you guys, did you get your start in real estate like straight out of high school, straight out of college? Like how did real estate become your journey?
Shayles, you want to go first?
Sure. So I came from a family who had some investments in real estate. My mom made some really smart decisions, and I watched that totally change the trajectory of our family's life. She went from absolutely having nothing to making something and making sure her family was comfortable. And so I took that and I knew that I wanted to be involved in building something similar and even greater than that, right? And like Ray said, real estate, you can build whatever whatever you want. And that's something that I absolutely love. And we are building it in a way that resonates and aligns with our values and who we are, which is even cooler. Ray, take it away so I can manage the kiddos.
I was like, how long do we have before Graham?
Yeah.
My story is a little bit different. I moved to San Diego for college, and with financial circumstances and family circumstances, I was never able to finish. And I found myself working in the restaurant industry, which I loved, and I still think very fondly of. One day you'll catch me, Joe, retired with a little neighborhood bar, just hanging out with my friends.
Nice.
And one of my regulars was in real estate. And I remember, my mom always saying like she would like to get into real estate and I would get into real estate. And it was that industry where like, if you like to hear yourself talk, you could probably do pretty well. And I, like to hear myself talk. And so I got drunk one night with a regular who is an incredibly well-known name here in San Diego in the real estate industry. And he said it. He's like, dude, you should get into real estate. And so I went home that night, paid for classes, and the rest is history, dude. I thought because I liked talking to people behind a bar that I was just going to go crush it. And that was not the case. It could not have been just the most rude awakening. It's like, oh, people aren't flocking to me to hear my terrible jokes. Like they don't want anything that I'm selling. I had to go hunt. And that was a humbling experience, man. Thinking that it was going to be as easy as they make it look, right? Because we say time and time again, it looks so much easier. And then you get in it and it's just like, what is this? And very grateful and thankful that I had a lot of people help pull me up and got through my first year, switched brokerages, got through my second year and did just moderately better, switched brokerages again. And I stayed with that brokerage, Keller Williams, for almost 10 years. And that's kind of where we found our footing and started to pick up some steam and realize, all right, we can do something here. We can really make some waves. And so now 12 years in, I'm looking to the next chapter. Shaylie 7 years in, and we're excited about what's next.
So let's talk about that. How you guys recently made the transition over to Real. How did it end up in your radar? You guys, again, like I mentioned, like such a heartfelt exit from KW, but how did Real become part of your thought process or conversation?
I'll kick this one off because I think it's important context. I was a team leader with KW for almost 5 years. And so Real got on my radar. I feel like overnight I was sitting in San Diego and we do recon work all the time, right? I have to pay attention to who's moving and where they're going and like who's shaking some stuff up in the industry. And I feel like in like a very short amount of time, I heard about Dean Aguilar moving over to this company called Real, and then Emma Lefkowitz, and then Andrew Greer, and then Siri Rao. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, what is this? And these are titans in our neighborhood, right? Like these are folks that are doing hundreds of millions of dollars in volume here in San Diego County. And it was just like, okay, I need to do some homework. I need to figure out what's going on with this company that is attracting these massive players here in San Diego County. And so my first, I think, intro to Real was as competitors. It was like, I need to know what I need to do against this company that is starting to make some serious waves so that they're not coming to taking my agents.
Right.
I started to do some research. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. It's pretty unique. And then a good friend of ours, Elizabeth Kamen, that we've known for 7-8 years, something like that. She made the switch. And then another good friend of ours, Molly Haynes, made the switch. And I think we had a drink with Elizabeth one night and she said, hey, you guys should at least take a look. Just have a look, peek behind the curtain a little bit. And then, and we did. And it was kind of one of those things like we went down the rabbit hole and we spent a lot of time researching and doing homework. And we had the privilege to meet with Tamir. I had the privilege to see and meet with Sharon. And it was one of those things for me, at least, and Shales, I'll have you kind of share your thoughts. Like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And It was really, really difficult just talking every day about what the next 12 months, 5 years looks like when we saw this thing, this massive opportunity in front of us. And it just kind of became one of those scenarios where it's like, we have to take that opportunity. We have to grab it. It is too big and too exciting to not jump at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaylie, what about you? Anything to add there as far as like how it came about? And
Yeah, just to add, I feel like this theme of opportunity has been super, super present throughout both of our careers. And that's what I think we have done really well, is seeking that next opportunity and always looking at how can we make this better? How can we grow? And when we started exploring Real, it became very, very clear that this path does align with our vision to grow. And that's something
right.
that's really exciting.
Yeah, I love it. So Ray, talk to us. I mean, what were some of the principles? You know, like I love to talk about, for me, Real is, you know, the culture is top notch. The
Yeah.
opportunity is really good. The economics, you know, the floor is low and the ceiling's high. Like the cap is, you know, 12K, which makes sense, 6K for teams, whatever. Yeah, but then the revenue share and stock ownership is like unlimited. And then I love to talk about the technology. And so I've got those little talking points. But for you guys, what were some of the things that you're like, you know, you loved? Here's the thing. I've had people make moves because they were at odds with their previous brokerage, or they're getting ran out of their previous brokerage. And they're like, I've got to find another place like today. That wasn't the case for you guys. You loved where you were, but you
Yeah.
saw something that led to your next opportunity. So what were some of those things that may resonate with other people?
I think I'll kick this off because the first big and I think like required domino to fall was the cultural alignment. We had to feel, not just see it, we had to feel it, that we were in business with folks that we culturally aligned with, that shared the same values, that shared the same principles, that woke up every day taking care of people and pushing the envelope and innovating, but doing it in a way that felt good, that felt I think just right, and
Yeah.
not going a different direction. I don't want to take that the wrong direction, but what I will say is, like, when we heard, you know, work hard, be kind, that simple motto was like, I like that you know, it's the values and the culture that I think permeates throughout the company. And then when we met with Tamir, it was such a cool thing to be able to say, hey, this guy that has built this incredible thing was willing to give us an hour of his time. And he was so gracious and so humble and so just genuinely curious about like how he can help. And frankly, we had a chance to meet with quite a few other folks, and a lot of it was like a full-blown pitch session. And that's not a knock on anybody, but it is an absolute contrast to the experience that we had when we met with Tamir, the experience that I had when I had a chance to see Sharon teach and meet with him. It just felt different, and it felt like a real sense of community. And that, I think, was really, really important to us. And once we checked that box, then it was okay. Let's see, is the opportunity there? Is the growth there? The technology was kind of just like a cherry on top. We are still diving into the tech, and we're like, this is wild. And so it really started with those values. Candidly, that was I think the must have, and it was so apparent so fast. I think Charlie just hung up. It was so apparent so fast that there was a synergy, there was a alignment. And it's
well, and it's hard. It's hard because even saying that, the temptation would then be to say you were out of alignment before. You weren't. Like, you were stoked. You loved where you were. And I think sometimes people are like, well, I'm totally happy where I am. And it's like, well, that's good. Yeah. Is there a world in which we can increase your happiness? Is there something we can add to? And I think we're so used to in our society that if somebody says like, well, I found a great cultural alignment at Real, that would then signify that there was not cultural alignment at KW. There totally was. You just found, and I think Shaylie said it best, like, you found what was next. You found your next opportunity, your next evolution of you as entrepreneurs and of your business, which I think is a really cool part of the story.
Yeah. When we sat down and we really started thinking about like, what is the next opportunity that we want, that's important to us? What is that next chapter, that next phase of our business? That kind of got the wheel spinning, and just, you know, being really fair, we were really flattered to be able to sit with a couple different companies. You know, I want to be transparent about that. I'm not going to say who, but the biggest thing that we found was that there was certainly a cultural misalignment with some of the companies that we spoke with. And to be able to say, hey, there's this easy, smooth landing that is just so perfect in terms of where we are and where we're going, it felt right and it feels seamless. Couple that now with the economics and the opportunity and the vision. It was just kind of like we have everything that we've always loved with the opportunity to do some infinite stuff that to this day still I woke up at 3:00 this morning and I'm drafting proposals. Like I'm on cloud 9 just thinking about all of the stuff that the Real platform and community allows us to go do. And it's even, I think, opened up my thinking where it's like, hey, you know, we had an idea of what we wanted to do, what that next opportunity looks like. And then we started kind of getting our feet under us and we're like, wait, we can actually do bigger. We could do more. And so
a friend of mine that came 3 years ago, a girl by the name of Amy Youngren, she was with KW. Her launch video, she just said, we are excited to move into an environment where we're at a brokerage without borders. And like for her, that meant it wasn't just borders like the US Canadian border. She's in Toronto, but it was like, I even think like the walls that surround me right now, my state licensure, I'm licensed in the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
You know, how can I think outside of this box? And then how can I think outside of my state boundaries? How can I think outside of my country even? Like, how can I put my eyes toward Canada? And so I think when you take an entrepreneur and you train them up in a space that is very, you know, traditionally the brokerage model was, this is your office.
Yeah.
This is your MLS.
Yeah.
And at max, this is your state of licensure. So like, play in that sandbox, and then you come to a company like Real and it's all gloves are, all borders are removed. And it's like the typical answer is yes. Like build whatever you want. Like you want to build we were having a conversation yesterday with a guy that he runs 100-person team at kind of like a rent-a-brokerage model where he's just like paying part of his transaction fees to his brokerage and whatever. And he's like, I don't know if I need to build a bigger team, if I need to go back to building a broker, like an independent brokerage. And both Amy and I were like, our number one piece of advice was, as an entrepreneur, the most beneficial thing you could do for your own business in real estate is build a network. Yeah. Like, go build a nationwide, a North American network of agents that are like-minded. They need a new opportunity. They're not unhappy, but they can be more successful. Go build that business and watch your business thrive. So I guess that's kind of like where I want to kind of wrap this up is, what's next for you guys? What are you excited to be working toward? Give us some idea of what people are going to see from Shaylie and Ray in the future. Like what are you guys, what is waking you up at 3 a.m? Like, what are you excited about that you can share with us that kind of gives people an idea of what to look for?
Shayles, you first.
Okay, I will just say that we love building community. We are community builders at heart, and that idea is what is getting us most excited right now, connecting with all of these new people and figuring out how we can be in alignment with even more people. Ray, I don't know how much detail you want to add there, but the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, it's like when you first figure out like that real estate is a business, right? And you see the fruits of your labor and you start to look at it and you're like, oh, like I built a real thing, a real business. That shit's addicting. And then it's just like, for us, it's like, dude, we built this thing and it's thriving and it's awesome. And then it's like, well, what else can we build and how big can we do it? And that's an itch that I don't think I will ever be able to fully scratch. And so we're sitting down almost every day and we're like, but how big, how much further, how many people can we impact? And I love to joke, like I'm a simple dude. I only want the world and everything in it. And so what I mean by that is like, the sky's the limit, man. Like there's no limitations in this industry. There's no boundaries that are going to hold us back. And what I will say is like, when we reach that first level that I know we're aiming for, we're already starting to eyeball the next, and then it's the next, and then it's the next. And so building is really what we're excited about. Building community and building training and building an ecosystem and building, culture. It's what I hope that we can look back on, and I love an opportunity to sit here a year, 2 years from now and say, we built something that makes agents' lives better, makes the consumer experience better, and makes our industry better. And if we can do that, dude, like I might be able to get some sleep. I don't know. But until then, I'm waking up early in the morning excited about just making sure I don't lose a thought, just making sure my notes are taken, making sure that I'm getting stuff out to people in time. It's the most excited I've been in this industry in a very long time. And it's really just because we have the opportunity to build. And that is an incredible feeling.
Well, I can feel it. We need to just get on the schedule, like checkups, like day of checkup calls we do to just kind of see where you guys are at. See what the doctor will check out the baby, and then we'll do day, and then we'll do calls. I don't doubt that you're going to build something awesome. I'm excited to be in your world. Excited to share with you the things I've learned throughout the process, right? We've been doing this for 4 years, and we've built something bigger than we ever thought we would. Like our goal was not to have this amazing ecosystem that we have now. Like when we got out of independent brokerage ownership, we were like, dude, let's just get some stock and call it good. And then to your point, we got so re-energized. The last place I would want to be right now is in a tribal siloed office where it's like, or company where it's us versus everybody else. It's like being in this together. Like I just know down in Jason Cassidy and Dean and all these people down in San Diego and up in Vegas, we've got great people, and in Utah and in Sacramento and in Texas. And it's like being in that collaborative environment is highly addictive. So how do people get in touch with you guys? If this resonates with somebody and they're like, dude, Ray's my energy, Shaylie's my energy, like they are my type of people. How do people get in touch with you?
Love.
The best place is honestly Instagram. We are always monitoring that. And you can get a glimpse of what that 3 a.m. life looks like. Honestly, we love connecting with people. We're going to be posting a lot of trainings at Coastline San Diego. Follow us, and then both of our individual accounts. Of course, we are available via email, call, whatever anyone needs, but keep us in mind for trainings in the future and everything we have coming up for sure.
Yeah.
So that is
social media is the easiest. It's kind of funny. Like I would say text me, but you're probably more likely to hit us up on social media. So Shaylie sells San Diego, Ray sells San Diego, and Coastline San Diego.
Love it. Well, guys, hit them up. They're going to do big things. This is where I have a feeling we're going to look back at June 17, 2025 and be like, dude, remember when you were here saying this? And now you're here saying that. And I'm excited to see what you build. I'm here for you. The entire Real Broker community is here for you guys. So I'm excited to see what you build and just stoked to be a small part of it.
Stoked to be part of the team, man. Thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to chat and connect. I'm looking forward to, let me know when you're in San Diego. I'll be in Vegas for Forward. I have no doubts we'll have an opportunity to sit down and buy you a beer first time we get a chance to do that.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
I hope you're finding value in the content you've been consuming, and my goal is to earn your subscription. So subscribe down below so that you get notified when we drop new content every single week.